Okay, I'm going live a little early today. I pressed the button too quick. Okay. What you focus on grows. What you focus on grows. We have to keep reminding ourselves about this and then decide to focus on what we want. But we're in a habit sometimes of getting influenced by the outside world and then getting upset by what's going on in the outside world. And then therefore we're thinking about it. And we're thinking about it, we're putting our attention on it, and we're focusing on it. And then more negative stuff keeps growing. So what you focus on grows. And we need to pay attention to this because you are a magnet. This is very important. You are a powerful magnet. Your brain is a magnet. Your heart is a magnet. Your body is a magnet. And like magnets, the positive and negative pole, they click together and they attract, right? But then there's, if you try to put two things together, two negatives together, they repel. Don't worry about the positive and negative poles too much, but the actual physical, the method of a magnet and how it like sucks together or how it repels is important with your thoughts and what you're focusing on. I'm not a scientist and I don't know all of the technicalities of magnetics, but what I have been studying and what I have been realizing and experiencing within myself is something around a magnetic pull or a magnetic repel. And what I've noticed lately is I am able to hold a positive mindset more often than I am able to hold a negative mindset. So that is like huge. That is a huge transformation for me. To be able to notice that I'm not going into the negative and I'm staying in the positive more often. That is what I've been working for years. For years, I've been training myself to stay in a positive mindset, a prosperous mindset, transform the old scarcity awareness and patterns and actual actions that bring more of that around. So if your brain is a magnet, if your heart is a magnet and your body is a magnet, wouldn't you like it all attracting what you want? So we have to learn how to focus on what we want instead of focusing on what we don't want. And we've read this before. This is everywhere. Like we've read this, but we forget. And we get pulled and sucked away from that by outside influences because we don't put ourselves first. We don't take the time to set ourselves up first and practice consciousness expansion and practice awareness and self-observation. And that's what I specialize in. I specialize in consciousness expansion, awareness, paying attention, noticing, putting yourself first, that kind of stuff. And I've been able to practice that for myself for a long time. So I feel really lucky. I feel really lucky right now that the things that I did 30 years ago to get me on the path that has helped me to get here right now, because if it did not happen 30 years ago, I would not be here today. So I am super grateful. And it's like my path, my life has been a magnet pulling me to this place right now. I could look at it that way. But I'm really grateful because I've had to train myself. I've had to train myself to stay conscious. I've had to train myself to stay aware. I've had to train myself to notice that I don't feel good, that I'm getting what I don't want, that it's not working out for me, and why, and investigate it. So I have gone deep into it, and I'm having some breakthroughs lately, and the breakthroughs are feeling good, and I want to share those with you. And so I wrote a transmission for March, and I'm kind of going through it. I'm grabbing onto the most important parts of it this episode. And one of the things that really dropped in this week as I was downloading it, and I'm not reading anyone else's forecasts or astrological influences and anything like that before I write this. And I don't think it has any, it's here or there, whatever you want it. You can connect it if you want. But something dropped in around prosperity consciousness and with my connection to my own life and the horses, and a new term, a new thing dropped in, and I want to share that with you, and it's pace. P-A-C-E, pace. And I race pacers. I've grown up my whole life with harness horses, standardbreds that pace. We put equipment on their legs to keep them on the pace. And if they can't stay on the pace, they make breaks. They go off the pace. And it's not helpful when you make a break and you go off the pace. So this thing about pace is an acronym. Prosperity. This is something that we all want. We all talk about it a lot, but we're not experiencing it because we just aren't. We're not able to hold this prosperity field consistently. Some people are, they've figured it out. But there's more than just money with prosperity. There's happiness, joy, fulfillment, all of that wrapped up in prosperity and wealth and success in that. And then there's awareness, the A. We're not consistently being aware. We're closing our eyes to things, we're avoiding, we're not paying attention. We're shutting ourselves down from the from information that could help us to be decisive or to make decisions, because we don't want to be aware of it. We want to stay ignorant or blind to it, because sometimes that feels better not knowing. And then C, consciousness. There's consciousness in everything. Our thoughts are can be conscious or they can be unconscious. We can be thoughtful and paying attention to what we're thinking, or the words we're saying, or the actions we're doing, or we can unconsciously just say and do and go around unconscious. And certain things will help to keep us unconscious, like drugs, alcohol, old patterns, society, ourselves. And then E, expansion. We want to expand the limits that we've put on ourselves. I do. And I feel like this pace thing is a good way to start setting the pace for ourselves. And for me, I'm using the horse analogy because it's in my life. It's my whole life with my family. And I race horses still. And we started racing last night, and I'm racing again tomorrow. Anyway, the pace. In a horse race, the horse on top sets the pace of the race. And so if you're the horse on top, you can set the pace and be the influence. And I'm not talking about wearing yourself out or winning the race here. I'm talking about setting the pace for yourself so that you can be consistent. You consistently are being aware that you're thinking prosperous or you're not. You're thinking scarce. You're being aware that you're conscious about what you're thinking and doing, or you're not. And you're either expanding those mindsets, those limits that you've put on yourself, those old belief systems, or you're not. So you have to take control of the pace for yourself. And like I said, we make adjustments with the horses to keep them on the pace. So if there's a horse that is making breaks, which means they go off pace in the race and it causes problems because it doesn't support us with winning or making any money, and it's embarrassing as well to be making a break in a race. And we need to make equipment adjustments. Or we need to give the horse time off to heal because something is hurting them. Like, it's an indication that something is wrong when you're making a break. So you have to pay attention to it and make adjustments and realignments and that kind of thing. So we need to do that for ourselves as well, to keep on the pace. We need to keep on the pace with ourselves, make adjustments and tweaks when we notice that we're not being conscious, we're not being aware, we're limiting our ability to expand our beliefs and mindsets and opportunities for prosperity consciousness. So I'm just throwing this out here, this new concept, pace, setting the pace. Maybe somebody else is coming up with it, but I have my own way. So the practice is to pace yourself, to align with the pace that works for you, that connects the magnets inside of you, the heart, the head, the body, your energy, and notice when you need to make adjustments. And if your body is feeling tired, then you make adjustments. If your mind is feeling tired, you make adjustments. If your feelings are overwhelming, you make adjustments. You listen to the whole of you and you set the pace within yourself. And it takes practice. So all of last year, I was unraveling, unwinding, going deep into understanding scarcity consciousness and how it had a hold on me. Even though I wanted to be in prosperity consciousness, I wasn't experiencing it. I was not experiencing it. And I had to notice this, and I had to do things consciously to unravel those patterns from years and years and years ago, from bad relationships that I was in, from old belief systems that I have to win a race to make money. So I'd have to win in my life, improve myself in my life to make money. Not believing that I can't do it. I have to work in a mainstream job that everybody, agrees to, and that this is what society wants. And when you say you're an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor, you deserve to make all that money. And then when you are an artist or a visionary or an inventor, somebody with something new, you're struggling, you can't make it. Oh, you'll never make it, So I had to intentionally go into, all the spells and, self-sabotage that I put on myself around scarcity for about a whole year. And it was worth it. It was worth it because I'm feeling now that I did something. I transformed something because I'm experiencing positive mental attitude on a regular basis. I'm believing in myself more than ever, and I'm attracting amazing people to me to collaborate with, clients that I'm working with that are absolutely amazing, and thought leaders and all types of relationships and people that are high vibe. And that is a practice as well. Hanging out with high vibe people. Hanging out with places and things and environments that support you, that feel good. Because it helps you to stay on the pace. Helps you to stay on the pace. And I use horse racing analogies for spiritual training because it has been training me spiritually my whole life. Those horses, they are magical creatures, and they have a sneaky way of coming into my consciousness and sending me messages and giving me analogies. And I hope you enjoy them because I think they're really kind of funny. And I like to keep a consistent pace for myself because if I force myself too much in the morning, I'm dead at the end of the day. I got to keep my energy up so I can keep prosperity thinking, positive thinking, be aware, be conscious, be expanding. It's all about a management of your mind, your body, your heart, your energy. It has to be managed and kept on pace for exactly you, and everyone's going to have a different formula for the pace that's for them. And so you have to decide, like, it's something that you have to decide that this is what you want to do. Do you want to be in prosperity consciousness? Do you want to be more aware? Do you want to be conscious all the time? Do you want to expand all the limits that you might have on yourself and break through everything and self-actualize, like become the soul power, ultimate purpose, awesome self-actualized person that you're meant to be? And I do. I want to be that person, and I want to guide people who want to be that way. And it's just like a racehorse. You know, there's this baby racehorse, and you put the equipment on to help them get on the pace. And, a racehorse takes 2 to 3 years to get to the races. Well, it took me 30 years to get here. Things are speeding up. Timelines are speeding up, thank goodness. So we can move faster. We're becoming more aware as a collective. And things are changing faster and faster and faster. So we can adapt and learn and change faster and faster is what I wholeheartedly am witnessing. I'm witnessing that within myself and everyone around me and the world. And just, it's evolution. And so you have to decide, is this something that you want to grow within yourself? And it's my specialty. My specialty is alignment of purpose, power, prosperity, alignment of your mind, heart, and body and energy. And I've designed specific programs, signature programs called Finding the Source. And I have a meditation program called Earth Force Activation that really helps you to become this powerful magnet of positive thought forms, great feelings, strong body, magnetic energy, so that you're manifesting and creating the life that you want. And unraveling those things as they come up. But in a really good way, like seeing them as a teaching. Your life is a whole teaching. All of those bad, hurtful, annoying, frustrating experiences, they're just teachers. And you can take the teaching and uplevel it and get on the pace. So I will put in the comments a link to my services page on my website, and you can check out Finding the Source or Earth Force Activation. And if you have any comments or questions about the pace, I really want to unpack this more. This is a new concept coming in for me this week. I'm sharing it with you. And I'd love to hear how prosperity consciousness, expanded awareness, positive thinking, how you have been up-leveling lately. How has it been teaching you? What have you been learning about prosperity consciousness for yourself lately? Or positive thinking. Maybe you've also been experiencing a shift that you've been working on for a long time, and it's coming, the results are showing you. I'd love to hear. Put it in the comments as well. So have a great week. We'll see you next time.